Hey everybody, how are you? I'm the Stacking Stormtrooper. If you're new to the channel, I'm a guy in a bucket talking about precious metals, so hit that subscribe button, get the bell notification clicked, that way you get updated with any new content. Today I'm talking about silver and gold, obviously. However, I'm going to be talking about something in particular that is very, very important. In fact, I think this is probably one of the most important things that I've discussed on this channel. This is mainly the reason why I even took to YouTube in the first place, and that's to educate your friends and family about silver and gold bullion. Now, there's a lot of people within the stacking community who feel that silver and gold bullion should be something that you just kind of keep to yourself, maybe share with your spouse, but that's it. I'm a completely different mindset when it comes to silver and gold. I think that you should be telling your friends about it. I think you should be telling your family about it. Now, that doesn't mean you should tell everybody how much you actually own. But what this does mean is that you should be educating your friends and family on silver and gold when you have the opportunity. Now, there's different things that I think that you should be sharing with your friends and your family. And I'm going to actually jot these down here, and you guys can definitely follow along, take some notes if you will, and I'm curious as to what you agree with and disagree with in the comments down below. So I'm just going to write down friends here, and I'm going to write down family over here. Sorry for the sloppy handwriting, okay? And let's just do the little T-chart action. Bam! All right, very official, right? Let's talk about, for a second here, the value of silver. All right, the value of silver is something that people don't really necessarily know. They know that silver is a precious metal to some degree. They might have silverware, like actual silverware that they got from their grandparents or great-grandparents. But a lot of people don't really understand the value of silver. They don't understand its uses. They know that it's in jewelry and everything like that, but they don't really know the value of silver, let alone the spot price. This is something that I think you should share with your friends and your family. Let them know about spot price and what that actually means, right? The spot price is the price of silver and gold at a particular point in time per ounce. So you definitely want to be sharing that with your friends and your family. I'm just going to do this right here. Value of silver, check and check to family. Talk to them about this, okay? It's important that they understand what this is, why they should own it. Same thing with the value of gold, okay? I'm going to write gold. We'll get a little check mark. Boom, check mark there. Friends should know about the value of silver. You should educate their friends on the value of gold, okay? I went to my wife not too long ago, and I held up this gold eagle coin, and I put it in her hand, and I asked her, how much do you think this coin is worth? She said $150. She had no clue that this was worth close to $2,000. And that's going to bring me to another point later on. But this is something that I think you should share with your friends and family, absolutely. You could very easily just talk about silver and gold as a way to save, as a hedge against inflation, so on and so forth, and just educate them on that. The other thing you should talk to your friends and family about is why save in precious metals, right? Saving in PMs. All right, definitely a check mark there. Why is this a good idea? The one thing that you could share with them is that silver and gold was never worth zero, right? This has been something that's been coveted and really fought after by mankind over thousands of years. This has been a type of currency for a long period of time, money, I should say. This has been a form of money. This is something that will never be worth zero. There's uses in gold and silver in industry. You know that there's medical uses for it in electronics, in solar, etc., so on and so forth. So there's a lot of uses for silver and gold aside from just stacking for its hedge against inflation purposes. But this is definitely something that you want to talk to your friends and family about, that savings in precious metals is something that you should consider doing, right? Not putting all of your eggs in one basket. Going along with that whole savings in the form of PMs is you want to talk about how, like I said, it's a hedge against inflation, right? Just put a little hedgy right there, a little hedge action. But you also want to talk about the liquidity. This stuff you could really move very easily, as long as it's something that's kind of just bullion grade like this, right? Especially here in the United States. American Silver Eagles are probably the easiest thing to sell when it comes to silver, and the American Gold Eagles and Buffaloes, highly recognizable. Those are kind of the things that you want to talk about. A lot of people are going to say to you, you know what? It's too expensive. I don't have the money for that right now. But you're going to talk to them about being a form of savings, and you're going to say to them, well, really all you're doing is you're taking your dollars and you're putting it in a different form. And that's what you want to kind of get to them, get that point across to them, that it is also very liquid, that you can actually move it when you need to very, very easily. The difference with this and, let's say, holding dollars is that this is a little bit harder to, I guess, to take the money value out of this when it comes time to actually using it, right? If you have money in your checking or savings account, or if you just have a pile of cash sitting somewhere at home, it's going to be a lot easier to spend that as opposed to silver and gold, right? You actually have to have that extra step where you take it somewhere and that you actually have to sell it and get the cash in order to then use that cash. So for me, as a form of savings, this has been a really, really good mechanism. It just helps with the whole discipline, in my opinion. Now, when it comes to what you should actually tell your family and your friends also, now, this is where it's going to differentiate. This is where we're going to kind of get into how much you hold. How much you hold. This is something that I think you should tell your family, at least your spouse and probably your children. Why is that? If, God forbid, something were to happen to you, you get hit by a bus, or you are climbing a volcano in Hawaii and you take a selfie and you fall into the lava in the middle, you're going to want people to know, especially your spouse, what you actually have, right? How many ounces of silver, how many ounces of gold, because you want them to have access to that money. God forbid something were to happen to you. Plus, you want them to know the value. And this is kind of bringing us back up here, right? The value of what you have, right? So if you tell your spouse, oh, I have, 100 ounces of silver and 10 ounces of gold, and it's located in the lockbox under the bed or whatever, that's great that they know that you have that there, but they need to know the value of it. Like I said, if something were ever to happen to you, you want your spouse to know what it is that you actually have. So when it comes to the value of what you have, you probably want to maybe have some sort of spreadsheet, or even if you have like a notebook. I know some people in the stacking community are a little bit squirrely, a little skittish with having anything digital or on a cloud somewhere. They think that the government is peeking in on them. So if you want to keep a ledger on, just like a notebook or whatever, and have that with your stack and make things easier for your spouse, that's a good idea. The other thing too is, like I said, you want to tell your children, right? So you want to have your spouse and children in on this, right? Spouse, if you don't have children, fine. Maybe a niece or a nephew. Spouse, children, right? Children. You want them to know how much you have and what the value is. God forbid something were to happen to you or your spouse. The other thing you want to do is tell them where it is located. Now, again, some people, they're like, oh, heck, I'm never going to tell my spouse. If I ever get divorced, I don't want them to have access to this. Well, let me tell you something, guys. There is a thing known as a forensic accountant. They will be able to kind of track down the money. If you have two separate accounts and you have your spending and maybe online receipts and everything, it's going to be very difficult for you to cover up your tracks. If you're one of those people that only deals in cash and you're going to your local coin shop and you're only buying in cash, that's a little bit of a different story. But in my opinion, you do want to have your spouse and children know where this is all located in the event something were to ever happen to you. But now, really important also, you need to educate them on who to sell it to. God forbid something were to happen to you, you need for them to be able to know who to sell it to. For an example, I've been doing a lot of business with my local coin shop, US Coin Trust. They're located in Ocean, New Jersey. And Steve is somebody that I trust wholeheartedly, and I would send my spouse to him. If anything were to happen to me, she knows to take what we have, if she needs to sell it, and go to him, and he'll take care of everything. He won't pull the wool over her eyes. He will definitely help her out. You need to have somebody to sell it to. I recommend getting a rapport built up with a local coin shop. That way you have already an established relationship, and you know that that coin shop, that person that you've built that rapport with, is going to help you out, help your spouse out in the event that something were ever to happen to you, God forbid. I, again, do really think that it's important for you to be educating your friends and family every opportunity that you have about silver and gold bullion. Again, this is one of the main reasons that I took to YouTube. These are just some main talking points. There's probably a whole host of other things that you could be telling your friends and family about this, but this is just the very bare bones basics, right? Talking about the collectability and the different types, 90% silver, 999 silver, 49 silver, talking about pure gold as opposed to, 0.9167 gold. Like, we're not talking about that. We're just talking about the basics, educating people about this stuff. You don't have to really broadcast to the world what you have, but you should, at least with your friends and family, tell them what you have. Really more so your family. Tell them what you have, how much, where it's located, who to sell it to. But all this other stuff you should definitely be doing whenever you get the opportunity. So guys, let me know down below if you agree with me, if you think this is something important that people should be doing within the community. I think there's not enough people out there that know about silver and gold. And again, that's why I think that this is probably one of the most important communities on YouTube. So definitely comment down below. Let me know, and the rest of the community know your thoughts as to what things you think you should be telling your friends and family when it comes to silver and gold stacking. And I just want to quickly thank these elite channel supporters, and if you haven't become a channel member, please check out the awesome perks and join today. With that, I'm the Stacking Stormtrooper. Check out these videos. Until next time, long live the Empire.